In customer service, you might think every single conversation is totally different. But what if they're not? What if I told you there's a simple playbook, kind of like a secret weapon, that can make pretty much any customer interaction a total success? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're building that playbook, step by step.
Okay, so let's get right down to it. Let's start with the most basic question of all. When a customer calls you, or emails you, or whatever, what is your single most important job? I mean, your number one job. You could probably list off a dozen different things, right? But the real answer? It's actually way simpler than you think.
It's this: handling requests. Seriously, that's it. Just think about it for a second. Almost every single time a customer gets in touch, it boils down to a request. They need you to change something, they're asking about something, or they need you to solve something for them. The moment you see it this way, everything else just clicks into place. It all gets so much easier.
And honestly, this simple idea, it's the absolute heart of what makes customer service great. It's not just about having a smile in your voice, It's about being really, really good at understanding what the customer wants and then getting it done.
Which brings us to this key insight. It's a quote, but man, it's so true. Each request is different, but the process is always the same. You might get one person who just wants to update their address, and the very next call could be a super complicated refund. The details are worlds apart, right? But your process for handling it, that should be exactly the same every single time. That consistency, that's where your confidence and your skill really come from.
So what is that process then? Well, we're going to break it down into a really simple 4-step formula. I want you to think of this as your go-to toolkit for literally any customer conversation you'll ever have.
And here it is, just 4 easy steps. Number 1, you listen, and I mean really listen, to make sure you understand exactly what they need. Number 2, you confirm. You repeat it back to them to make absolutely sure you're on the same page. Number 3, you act. This is where you actually do the thing. And finally, number 4, you close politely. You wrap it up and leave that customer feeling like they were truly heard and helped. It's so simple, but wow, is it powerful. And trust me, it works every time.
All right, to really nail that formula, you've got to know the lingo. And we'll start with the customer side of things, what I like to call the language of action. These are the key words you're listening for that tell you exactly what they want you to do.
Okay, first up is update. Pretty straightforward, right? When a customer says, hey, I need to update my email address, they're just asking you to change some information you already have on file. You're going to hear this one a lot.
Next, we have cancel. This is another big one. A customer wants to stop something, maybe a service, an order, a subscription. Your job is to make that process as smooth and painless as possible for them. And then there's the big one, refund. Ah, yes, this one's critical. A customer wants their money back because something went wrong. How you handle this request is so important for keeping their trust, even when they're obviously not happy.
And here are 2 that are basically 2 sides of the same coin: activate and deactivate. Activate means to turn something on. Think of a brand new SIM card. And deactivate, well, that's just the opposite. It means to turn something off, like maybe an old account they don't use anymore. Figuring out which one they need is key.
Okay, so that's the language the customer uses. Now, let's flip the script and talk about your language. Once you know what they need, you have to tell them what's going on with their request. This is what we call the language of status. These are your go-to words for giving clear, professional updates.
The first status you'll often use is pending. All this means is, hey, we got your request, it's in line, and we're going to get to it. This is so important for managing their expectations so they're not left wondering what's happening.
After pending, the request usually moves to processing. This is your way of telling the customer, okay, we're actively working on this right now. It doesn't matter if it's a computer system doing the work or a person on your team, processing means progress is being made.
And finally, the moment we all want to get to: completed. This is the finish line. It's the confirmation that the job is done, the request is finished, and the issue is solved. It gives everyone that sense of closure.
So how do we keep track of all this? How does a request move from pending all the way to completed without getting lost? Well, there's one tool you absolutely cannot live without: a ticket number. This little code is the single source of truth for both you and the customer.
I know it just looks like a random string of numbers, right? But this ticket number, it's everything. With this number, literally anyone can look up the request, see its entire history, and know its exact status in a split second. It's the absolute bedrock of organized customer support.
Okay, let's bring it all home.
When you take that simple 4-step formula and combine it with the right language, both the action words and the status words, you gain this incredible power. You can take any conversation that feels chaotic and turn it into something controlled, professional, and, most importantly, successful.
So, if you remember nothing else, remember this. Here are the key takeaways from our playbook. First, almost every customer interaction is just a request. That's the foundation. Second, stick to that 4-step formula. Listen, confirm, act, close. It's your roadmap. Third, listen for those action words from the customer. Fourth, use your status words to give them clarity. And finally, number 5, that ticket number is your absolute best friend. Use it, love it, never lose it.
So there you have it. We've just laid out the entire playbook for customer service success. You've got the steps, you've got the language, you've got the tools. It's all right here for you. So really, there's only one question left. How are you going to use all this to make your very next conversation a fantastic one?